As the film starts, we are introduced to a boy named Michael. He and his friend visit Wingate Christian School, where their athletic abilities catch the attention of Coach Cotton. Despite facing prejudice in a predominantly white school and struggling academically, Coach Cotton fights for Mike's admission. The boys get in, but the challenges don't stop there. On his first day, Mike walks into the school carrying all his belongings in a plastic bag, which earns him strange looks from his classmates. His appearance and demeanor don't help either. None of the teachers are thrilled about having him in class due to his poor academic performance. During a volleyball match, Mike catches the eye of Touhy, a wealthy businessman from Memphis. Sean notices Mike picking up leftover popcorn and keeping the packets for himself, finding it peculiar but not taking any action. It's been a month since Mike started attending Wingate, and his teachers are frustrated by his lack of progress and low grades. However, everything changes when one of the teachers, Mrs. Boswell, discovers a poem that Mike had written and thrown away. She reads it aloud, and it's a game changer. The teachers quickly realize how out of place he truly feels in the school. It becomes clear to them that he is absorbing everything that is being taught in class, but struggles to write it down as an answer. One teacher suggests having other teachers verbally go through his revisions and examinations to make him more comfortable. Meanwhile, there is only one kid in school who is kind to Mike, S.J. Touhy, the son of Sean Touhy. S.J. spends time with him in the park after class, trying to teach him to be more friendly. After that, S.J. leaves for home. His mom, Leanne Touhy, sees this, who is waiting for his son in a car. After that, the principal tells him that his father had an accident on the overpass and unfortunately, he passed away. Mike doesn't seem affected by this news since he was never close to his father. Being homeless and having nowhere to go, Mike decides to sleep at a laundromat. Due to lack of money, he has to wash his clothes in the sink instead of using a machine. One day, after a school play, something unexpected happens. S.J.'s mom, Leanne Touhy, notices Mike walking in summer clothes despite the freezing weather. She asks her husband to stop the car and find out where he is going. He informs her that he's heading to the school gym when she asks if he has a place to stay for the night. He tries to lie, but she catches him. She insists that he stays with them for the night and won't take no for an answer. Mike is amazed when he sees the luxurious house of the wealthy family as he enters. Collins, their daughter, greets him. Leanne prepares the couch for Mike to spend the night. Even though she has opened her home to a kid in need, she still knows nothing about him. The next morning, when she comes downstairs to check on the boy and maybe get some answers, he has already left. There she sees Mike leave, but he perfectly managed the couch on which he slept last night. Leanne catches him and tells him to stay with them at Thanksgiving dinner. Usually, Thanksgiving at their house involves store-bought food and football, but when Leanne sees Mike sitting alone at the dining table, she realizes although Mike is not raised by a wealthy family, but his behavior shows that he knows the value of family and foods. She decides that the whole family will eat together this year. They all say grace and engage in small talk while enjoying their meal. The following day, Leanne takes Mike for shopping. She tries to get to know him better, but he is very closed off. She asks him to share just one thing about himself, and he reveals that he dislikes being called Big Mike, the nickname everyone uses for him. She promises him that from that moment onwards, he will be called Michael. They drive to Hurt Village to meet Michael's mother, a rundown and dangerous place. Michael asks Leanne to wait in the car while he goes to see his mother. He ignores his old pals and moves towards his house, but there he found that his mother leave him again. This news breaks down him even more. Then he came back to Leanne. They drive off and head to a store called Big and Tall. The area seems sketchy, and Leanne asks him if he can protect her. Michael immediately nods, having limited options. He grabs a bunch of rugby shirts, but she is unimpressed by his fashion sense. However, Leanne allows the boy to choose whatever he likes. Michael continues to sleep on the couch at the Touhy's house, but Leanne wants to make him feel more at home. She offers to clean out a room for him. He tells her there is no place he would rather be. Happily, she sets up a room for him with a wardrobe, a sturdy desk, and a bed. Seeing this, Michael becomes emotional and confesses to Leanne that he has never had a bed to himself before. Finally, Michael is doing better in school, thanks to the verbal revisions with his teachers. Because of this improvement, Coach Cotton allows him to join the school team for spring football. The family celebrates this occasion by going to a fancy restaurant. Before dinner, Leanne and the kids go to a library where they reminisce about old times while reading childhood books. Michael, who never had a childhood like theirs, has never read any of these books. Leanne grabs a copy of Ferdinand the Bull to read to him at bedtime. After dinner, while waiting for the valet to bring their car, Michael spots a waiter and goes back inside. The two boys hug each other tightly and share an emotional moment. Leanne asked Michael about the waiter he hugged. Michael reveals that the waiter they were asking about is actually his long-lost brother, Marcus. They had been separated for a significant amount of time due to Child Protective Services. The Touhy family includes Michael in their Christmas cards, surprising their friends and family. Leanne's friends express concern about her decision, particularly regarding Colin's comfort with the arrangement. However, Leanne checks in with her daughter, who assures her that she is fine with Michael staying over. Collins even goes as far as leaving her friends to sit with Michael at school so he doesn't feel alone. As spring football season approaches, Michael, who is playing at this level for the first time, struggles to fully unleash his potential as an offensive lineman due to his fear of hurting other players. Nevertheless, his family remains supportive, with Leanne believing that he will become a great football player one day. SJ takes on the responsibility of helping Michael with his practice, emphasizing that the Touhys are an athletic family and that Michael shouldn't disappoint them. As a result, Michael dedicates himself to practicing hard and improving his physical condition. As a child without a permanent address, Michael has never had his own ID. So, Leanne asks if she can help him get one. They go to the government office, but they run into a problem: his name is not in the system. This leads Leanne to suggest that she and Sean become legal guardians to Michael. At first, Sean is hesitant, but his wife's persuasion leaves him with no choice. The next day, Leanne and Michael go back to the government office to get his papers, only to find out that most of his file has been misplaced due to the foster care system. The officer informs Leanne about Michael's mother's drug addiction. When Leanne learns that she only needs the state's approval to become Michael's guardian, she decides to visit Michael's mother. Leanne returns to the Hurt village to meet Denise Oher. She informs Denise that Michael is living with her now and she wants to provide the best for him. As they continue talking about Michael, Denise cautions Leanne that he may one day run away in search of his mother, something he was known for. Although she struggles to remember Michael's father's name, Denise eventually recalls it as Williams. Seeing Denise's pain, Leanne holds her hand and tries to comfort her. The guilt of ruining her children's lives is evident on Denise's face. With the guardianship papers and documents in place, Michael is officially welcomed into the Touhy family. Everything seems to be going well as they even give him a truck, a vehicle he had always wanted. SJ and Michael share a beautiful bond, just like real brothers. SJ also teach football by creative use of spices and condiments. Meanwhile, Michael takes SJ out for a drive. On this particular day, the brothers decide to head to the store to buy the new Madden game. Since Leanne is occupied with meetings, Michael offers to drive. As they enjoy jamming to a song on the radio, an unexpected accident occurs. Michael loses control of the car and crashes into another vehicle. In a protective gesture, he puts his arm around SJ to ensure his safety. Leanne receives a call about the accident and rushes to make sure her sons are okay. While SJ relishes the attention he receives due to his bruised lip and face, Michael is overwhelmed with guilt. The police officer at the scene informs Leanne that SJ is fortunate as the airbag could have caused serious harm to a child of his size. Leanne notices Michael's bruised arm and he reveals that he redirected the airbag to protect SJ. This reminds Leanne of a time when one of Michael's teachers at Wingate shared his 8th grade career aptitude test results, where his protective instinct scored in the 98th percentile. One regular day the school's football team gathers for practice just before their important game. Michael, although he tries his best, lacks the aggression needed to attack another player. Coach Cotton struggles to get through to him, but Leanne steps in. She taps into Michael's protective instincts and relates the gameplay to his personal life. She compares the quarterback to herself and the tailback to SJ, emphasizing that the team is like family and must be protected at all costs. This revelation clarifies things for Michael, and he starts playing offensively. Coach Cotton is surprised and grateful for Leanne's help. Finally, the day arrives for Michael to showcase his athletic talent as the Wingate Crusaders face off against the Redneck Lions. Michael, being a sensitive boy, gets distracted by the opponent team's sledging. During halftime, the Lions' offensive lineman kicks Michael in the head, resulting in a yellow card for the Crusaders due to unsportsmanlike behavior. Witnessing Coach Cotton stand up for him, Michael feels appreciated and becomes even more protective of his team. In the next play, he channels all his anger towards jersey 66 of the Lions, scoring a point for the Crusaders. Michael then takes matters into his own hands, dragging jersey 66 to the end of the field and pushing him over the bleachers. The crowd erupts in cheers, and Michael gains confidence in himself. SJ, being the supportive younger brother, records the entire gameplay on a camcorder for Michael. After the match, he burns a CD of the match highlights and sends them to nearby universities to help Michael secure a scholarship. The coaches of various universities in the southern United States are incredibly impressed by Michael's talents and desire him to play for their schools. They all gather to witness his performance. Soon, the offers start pouring in. However, Michael's grades are not up to par for him to qualify for the scholarship. Leanne decides to hire a tutor for him, Miss Sue. This is where the real struggle begins for the boy. When the university coach visits their house to meet with Michael, SJ and him sit down with the coaches to discuss the incentives they are willing to offer. These incentives range from being able to walk on the field before a match to receiving team merchandise. While the offers and incentives keep coming in, Michael and Miss Sue work tirelessly to improve his grades. The old school where Touhy family used to study also visit Michael and encourage him to join the school. Although the Touhy family did not pressurize him, but seeing how much that school means to his family, he ultimately decides to pick that school. Everyone is thrilled with Michael's decision, and everything seems to be falling into place, except for one thing. Michael's literature teacher is still unimpressed with his progress and refuses to give him a grade. But in order for Michael to improve, he has to do exceptionally well on his final term essay. Miss Sue and Michael brainstorm essay ideas, but nothing seems to stick. Sean steps in and decides to help Michael. He suggests that he write about the poem, Charge of the Light Brigade. When Sean recites the poem for Michael, he instantly connects with it. He realizes that there is a thin line between courage and honor, which the poet is trying to highlight through his words. Michael pens down a beautiful essay, one which even his stubborn literature teacher cannot dislike. He gives Michael a good grade, enabling him to pass with a 2.52 GPA. At the graduation ceremony, the entire family is present to cheer Michael on. Everyone is proud of the man that he has become. He went from a kid with no roof to an athlete on his way to play for Ole Miss. While the Touhys are preparing for their eldest to leave for college, the NCAA calls Michael in for questioning. They are suspicious about the Touhys taking him in and his decision to play for Ole Miss. It was not uncommon for rich white families to sponsor troubled black kids in order to make money out of them. Hearing this accusation, Michael gets emotional and assumes the worst of Leanne. He runs away from home and cannot be contacted. He has gone back to Hurt Village to look for his mother. He doesn't find his mother there, but he does run into a few old friends who get him to join them for beers and drugs. Feeling as he does, he agrees. His old friend Tony starts talking about Leanne and Collins, sexualizing both of them. Michael gets angry and he beats up Tony and his crewmates. The next day, Leanne comes to Hurt Village looking for Michael. There, she runs into Tony, who tells her to warn Michael as he is coming after him. Leanne is a strong woman and a fiercely protective mother who would do anything for her children. She warns Tony to never threaten her kids, as she has connections that could make his life a living hell. After getting back into her car, Leanne receives a call from Michael, who apparently spent the night at the laundromat. She drives over and apologizes to her son for her selfish behavior, assuring him that he should be allowed to do whatever he wants and attend any school he desires. Her words are enough to satisfy him, and he goes back to the NCAA to explain his desire to attend Ole Miss is because of his family's connection. The investigator is convinced and approves his scholarship, allowing Michael to begin his new life as a university student. The family goes to the Ole Miss campus to see Michael off, with Miss Sue moving into an apartment nearby to support him with his studies. Leanne is heartbroken to say goodbye to her son, but Michael insists on a proper farewell. He approaches the car, knocks on the window, and asks for a proper hug. Leanne gets out of the car and gives him a tight embrace, and they both cry as they bid each other farewell. It's amazing how strangers can play such a significant role in shaping who you become in life. Michael Oher.A, a real football player, was drafted by the NFL in 2006 and remains one of the most renowned offensive linemen in NFL history. Many of us don't realize how fortunate we are to have a stable family that provides comfort, but for kids like Michael, who come out of the shadows of the unforgiving foster system, the journey to success is filled with obstacles, just like a high-stakes football game. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. It will take 1 second of you, but a great milestone for us.